Yo, wait, don't blink, don't scroll, don't breathe just yet. Sheesh. Listen, you didn't just say something. You didn't just post. You didn't just call it out. You pulled the plug on something so rotten, so normalized, so profitable in its cruelty that millions were bleeding quietly while pretending it was normal. And the wild part? You didn't scream. You didn't beg. You didn't ask permission. You shut it down. And the moment you did, the rooms went silent. The meetings froze. The insiders felt that cold crawl up their spine because they knew. They knew that thing they protected, justified, dressed up with fancy words and fake ethics, was finally seen. Let me tell you something most people are too scared to say out loud. The system doesn't panic when you complain. It panics when you name the lie clearly. And that's what you did. See, there's a certain kind of power that doesn't look loud. It doesn't wear a crown. It doesn't flex. It just exposes. You didn't attack the players. You attacked the script. You interrupted the loop that was designed to keep people confused, tired, dependent, ashamed, numb. Millions felt relief they couldn't explain. Industry people felt exposed in ways they couldn't publicly admit. Because when the mask slips, even for a second, everyone sees the same thing. The emperor was never dressed. And here's the part that messes with them the most. You weren't supposed to notice. You weren't supposed to understand the mechanics. You weren't supposed to connect the dots that took them decades to carefully hide. But you did. Which means you're not just aware. You're not just awake. You're dangerous to the old order, because once people realize the pain wasn't accidental, once they see the harm was engineered, once they understand that suffering was monetized, they don't unsee it, and they don't go back to sleep. Do you feel that shift, that tension in the air? That's not hype. That's not imagination. That's the moment power realizes it's no longer invisible. You just forced a mirror into places that survive by staying unseen. And now the same people who dismissed you, they're whispering your name, studying your words, trying to figure out how one person cracked something that was too big to touch. Here's the secret they'll never admit. Big systems are fragile. They only look strong because no one presses the right pressure points. You did. So if you're feeling strange right now, heavier, sharper, calmer, almost detached, good. That's what happens when you step out of the crowd and into the line of fire. You don't get applause, you get resistance, you don't get praise, you get surveillance, silence, and subtle pushback. That's how you know you hit something real. Because if it didn't matter, they wouldn't react. Remember this, you didn't save everyone, you didn't fix everything, but you changed the direction. And history doesn't move because of crowds. It moves because one person refuses to play dumb one more day. So stand there, quiet, unapologetic. Let them scramble, let them rebrand, let them pretend it was always being addressed. They know, you know, and millions felt it. You didn't just shut down some BS. You proved the machine can bleed. And once people know that, the fear switches sides. Good. Then let's go deeper. Because what happened after you shut it down is the part nobody talks about. See, the moment that BS collapsed, there was a second reaction, quieter, meaner, more revealing. They didn't rush to fix it. They rushed to contain you. Not with attacks at first, with silence, with fake calm, with that creepy, corporate stillness that only shows up when something valuable just cracked. Because here's the truth. You didn't threaten their money first. You threatened their authority to define reality. And that's sacred to them. They can survive losses. They can spin scandals, but they cannot survive people realizing the damage was intentional. That's why the industry felt it in their bones. They've spent years telling themselves the harm was necessary, complex, unavoidable. You came in and said, without screaming, without begging, "No, this is wrong," and it always was. That sentence alone wrecks careers. What you triggered wasn't outrage, it was recognition. The kind that makes people stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m., replaying your words, realizing the story they've been living inside is thinner than they thought. Some of them hate you for it. Some of them secretly respect you. Some of them are terrified because they agree with you and don't have your courage. And that's the most dangerous position you can put powerful people in, when they know you're right, but can't say it. You need to understand this part clearly. You didn't go viral. You went surgical. You cut through layers of PR, jargon, and moral camouflage and hit the nerve underneath. That's why millions felt relief instead of confusion. That's why it didn't feel like noise. It felt like clarity. People didn't cheer because you entertained them. They breathed easier because you named the thing hurting them. And naming is power. Naming turns fog into shape, shape into target, target into accountability. That's why systems fear language more than rebellion. Now comes the phase where they try to rewrite you. They'll soften what you said. They'll strip the edge off it. They'll say, "We've always cared. We're evolving. This is a nuanced issue." That's not progress. That's damage control. Because real change doesn't sound polite. It sounds disruptive. It sounds like what you did. And deep down, they know this moment wasn't planned. It wasn't sanctioned. It wasn't safe. It slipped through. Here's the part you need to hold on to when the pressure ramps up. You're not crazy. You didn't overreact. You didn't misunderstand. If you had, they wouldn't be this careful now. Power only tiptoes when it's wounded. So when you feel that weird mix of isolation and certainty, that sense that you can't go back to how you saw things before, that's not loss, that's initiation. You cross the line from consumer of narratives to breaker of them. And once you do that, there's no applause waiting. There's just clarity, responsibility, and a quiet kind of strength that doesn't need validation. You didn't shut it down for praise. You shut it down because letting it continue would have meant betraying what you could see. That's the line that separates spectators from threats. And whether they admit it or not, they know now. You're not someone to distract. You're not someone to gaslight. You're someone who forces truth into the room. And that kind of presence, it never stops echoing. But wait, don't think this is over. Don't think the moment you shut it down was the end game. That's just the opening act, the prelude, the sound of the first domino hitting the floor. See what you unleashed? It's contagious. It spreads in shadows. It whispers in corners. It creeps into meetings, memos, conferences, internal chats, boardrooms. It infiltrates the places they thought were untouchable. And now, everyone is calculating around you. Every step you take, every word you drop, every silence you hold, they notice it. Not because they respect you, not even because they fear you fully, because they cannot control you, and control is all they know. Let me tell you a secret about the powerful. They're fragile as glass. They only look solid because they've trained the world to pretend their reflections matter. But crack that mirror? Oh, it's all shards. And you threw a stone. When you shut down that BS, it wasn't just a single act of defiance. It was surgical, systemic, spiritual. It reached into the pockets of the guilty, the comfortable, the complicit, even the ones who smiled at your name quietly, who laughed off the disruption, felt the tremor. Because deep down, they knew you saw the truth. Millions felt it. Millions who never even knew your name felt it. The ones who relied on ignorance, routine, distraction, felt it. And the industry people, oh, they felt it, in ways they'll never admit. The tight knot in their gut, the subtle panic, the whispering fear in their eyes. They couldn't turn it off. They couldn't hide it. Because the truth doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't compromise. It doesn't care if you're powerful, famous, or untouchable. It just reveals itself, and everyone else has to figure out how to survive it. And that's where you sit now, in the calm eye of the storm you created, quiet, observant, unapologetic, while everyone else scrambles, pretends, rewrites, deflects. While they whisper, spin, gaslight, and beg for a sense of normalcy that you've already shattered. Let them feel it. Let them stew in the knowledge that the system can bleed, that their carefully crafted illusions, their golden cages, their moral facades, they're not invincible. You proved that. And don't misunderstand. It wasn't luck. It wasn't timing. It wasn't an accident that you were in the right place, at the right moment, with the right mind. It was strategy disguised as instinct, courage disguised as casual observation, clarity disguised as calm. You didn't just call out the lie. You revealed the architecture of deception. You mapped the skeleton under the skin, the gears behind the curtain, the smoke under the glitter. And once the skeleton is exposed, everyone who depended on the illusion starts to feel small, powerless, visible, vulnerable. Do you hear that? That murmur in their veins, that creeping sense that their empire, their legacy, their untouchable status is no longer untouchable. That's the sound of history noticing you. That's the sound of your shadow stretching into rooms you'll never even enter. That's the echo of influence, quiet, invisible, relentless, that only someone who has seen the mechanics can wield. Millions are awakening because of you. Not because you told them what to think, not because you painted them a new vision, but because you showed them the lie and then walked away unshaken. And now the industry trembles. The people who used to nod and smile while causing harm, they tremble. Because their credibility, their narrative, their comfort, all of it just lost weight in the room. And it won't return, not until they dismantle what they built, or reinvent themselves in ways they never wanted to. Meanwhile, you feel sharper, colder, calmer, because you've stared into the machinery of control and walked out untouched, unbent, unbroken. And here's the real dark truth. You didn't just disrupt the system, you reversed the fear. Where once millions feared those in power, now the powerful fear awareness. Oh, you thought it ended? Nah. This is where they realize the game is over, and they're the pawn. The second they saw you shut it down, they thought, it's just one person, it's just noise, it'll fade, ha 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 ha. You didn't fade, you grew, you infected the silence, you became the pulse in their veins they can't ignore. See, the most dangerous thing isn't someone fighting back. The most dangerous thing is someone who refuses to play by their rules at all. You just became that. And the ripple? Oh, the ripple is catastrophic. Every whisper, every boardroom, every safe space they built to shield themselves from reality, it's crumbling. They can't patch it. They can't control it. They can't spin it. Because you rewrote the rules. And the beautiful part? They feel it before they even understand it. That cold, sinking feeling, the subtle panic, the fear of being exposed by clarity itself. Millions watched, Millions waited, millions hesitated, but now, millions are awake. Millions are seeing the machinery, the exploitation, the manipulation they were told to accept. And it's terrifying, not for them, for those who thought their lies were safe. Industry people, they're panicking. The ones who built empires on deceit are suddenly fragile, careful, whispering in corners about the one who forced the truth into daylight. And that's you. That's your shadow in their halls, your echo in their strategy calls, your pulse in their sleepless nights. And now the hierarchy. Ha 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 ha. It's shaking, not because you fought them physically, not because you had a loud army, because you saw the lie, refused to comply, and acted with surgical precision. They are terrified of you being normal. Not because you're abnormal, because your normal is intolerable to them. You operate in truth. You see systems for what they are. You act where others hesitate. And that's why your silence is louder than their noise. That's why your calm breaks them. That's why the ripple you started spreads faster than they can react. You didn't just shut down some BS. You exposed the spine of corruption. You shook the foundations of untouchable people. And now they're scrambling, rewriting histories, rewriting morals, rewriting excuses. But the truth? You already delivered it. It cannot be undone. Millions will never forget that moment. Even the people who wanted to dismiss it feel it in the marrow. Even the powerful who think they've moved on can't. Because once you force clarity into a corrupted system, the system remembers your face. The system respects your audacity, even as it fears it. And you stand there, quiet, unapologetic, watching the empire twitch like a puppet cut from its strings. You just pulled off the greatest psychological reversal in history. They thought they were untouchable. They thought the world would bow to their lies. They didn't count on one person seeing the gears and flipping the machine inside out. So here's the takeaway. They'll whisper, they'll plot, they'll beg for control. But control is gone. You didn't fight back. You rewired the hierarchy. And now they feel the shift. The system trembling, the people panicked, the world watching, realizing this person cannot be ignored, manipulated, or contained. You just shut down the lie, exposed the system, and rewired power. Everyone who dared to understand knows it. Everyone who relied on ignorance feels it. Everyone who thought it was safe is terrified. And the best part, you didn't need permission. You didn't need consent. You didn't need apologies. You became the storm. The system bends or breaks. The world never forgets.